Welcome everybody, this is an introduction video to preemptive striking. Okay, I've done this video so that I can show you the 4 shots that I'm going to teach you to do in the tutorials. And I'm also going to talk to you about why I'm encouraging you to learn preemptive striking. As you know, I'm mainly aiming for you non-fighters, but even some of you guys that are trained fighters could learn something from this just to add to your regime, okay? You know, it's a shame because obviously I was looking on YouTube the other day. I don't tend to look on it much, but there's a lot of people slagging off other martial arts and other systems, and there's really no need to do that because obviously every system has its place. You know, as I said to you, I'm not going to stand here and say that none of these work. I just am not prepared to wait for him to attack me to see if they don't work, because then it could be too late. That's the main reason I'm encouraging preemptive striking. You know, these attacks, as I said on that other video, are so fast and they're terrifying and violent. But I have no doubt in my mind that a good boxer or MMA fighter that's used to the feelings of adrenaline and confrontation possibly could block an attack, you know, and they certainly have more chance of shoving back and getting aggressive from here so that they've got this distance, and then you have got more chance of blocking. I've got no doubt about that at all. But obviously my aim is for you non-fighters. So I want to teach you guys to hit really, really hard from this range. And as I said on that introduction video, not a lot of people train for this. You know, they don't train from this range. And the reason I've picked this range is because 9 times out of 10 in a confrontation, this conversation range is what you'll be given. Obviously it's that 1,000,001 thing again. There is exceptions to that where you can have instant attack or be pincered. As I said to you, and I've been caught out with that. But we have to go on, you know, typical attack rituals really, because obviously you can just, you know, you get that how long's a piece of string thing again, because every scenario is different, but most come through dialogue. You know, if this guy's got a problem with you or a typical argument, usually it will come through here. So before you do these strikes, please go back to the fence and get used to controlling this range, you know, and work on your fear control as well, because obviously you will have fear. You know, that's the thing. If you're in a confrontation, most of us will have fear. You know, I'm pretty sure that all of us will really to some degree, but some of us handle it better than others. You know, I struggle with adrenaline sometimes, I must admit, but you know, that's why we need to get this situation over and quick, you know. So preemptive striking, again, it is the last resort. I'm really not advocating that we just go around hitting people because, you know, he spilt a drink or looked at us the wrong way. I'm talking about that this guy cannot be talked down, or he's being really aggressive, pushing my hands out the way and trying to close this gap. I will always try and talk a situation down first and resolve the situation through dialogue if I can. You know, I'm not going to hit this guy just because he's looked at me the wrong way or upset me or cut me up in the car. We have to get that clear, because if I have to stand up in court, because this is the other thing why people probably don't teach preemptive striking, there's always that what if he doesn't wake up. And again, that one does worry me. I'm not going to deny that. You know, it is there at the back of my mind. But you have to flip this back again, don't you? Because what if you don't wake up? What if he hits you outside the chip shop or the pub and you don't wake up? You see, this is the thing. Either way, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I'm encouraging you, if this guy's being aggressive and you cannot escape or talk down, that you hit him first. But you always try first. Please, mate, I really don't want any trouble. Can't we just talk about this? Be so ferocious with one shot. I want you hitting like a gun's gone off, and from so close that nobody knows who threw it. And that isn't so that you can get off of it. It's so that you have a better chance of success with it. If he doesn't see it coming, you have a much better chance of knocking him out. You know, a lot of people say it's hard to knock people out. And they're right if you're in a fight, because then your neck tenses and you're ready and everything gets protected. But most people, as I said to you, are out the fight in street fights before they know they're in it. And it's because we're not prepared. You know, I've seen loads of people be knocked out in pubs, clubs and in the street because they're just not ready for it. You know, you try and take out a boxer, you're going to have trouble because he's ready and he knows what he's doing. But we're aiming here to take him out the fight before he knows he's in it. And if you can throw a punch half of that power, but accurate to that jawline, it will have an effect. As I said on that introduction video, even if you're a 7 stone female, you know, please don't hurt me. Can't we talk about this? If you're accurate, it will have an effect, even if you don't knock him out. That's why I'm encouraging women to look at this too. Honestly, I see some of these courses and some of the moves I think that they're teaching these women, it's just, again, I just don't believe it will work. I think you've got a better chance of success trying to knock him out, because if he doesn't see it coming, you know, it just gives you a chance to escape. That's my reason for encouraging you to look at this, okay? But again, I'm not going to stand here and say it's going to save you. It might not. You have to, either way, you're going to have to do something. So if you want to stand there and grab him and knee him in the testicles, just don't be surprised if he doesn't headbutt you as soon as you grab him. You know, these people are sick. You have to take every precaution that you can. And that's why I'm saying, you know, even some of you fighters, you might be great fighters, but this guy's probably more violent than you. And we don't know whether he's going to bite, stab, glass. We don't know what he's capable of. So even, you know, some of you trained fighters, I would have a look at this as well and add it to your regime. Get it over and done with quickly. You know, you don't know what you're dealing with here. And that's why I'd say hit first, okay? But you have to prove, even if it's just to yourself, that you tried everything to talk it down or resolve it or escape, you know, depending on who you are. I mean, I couldn't live with myself if I hit someone and they didn't wake up and it was because he spilt my drink, you know. That's just me personally. But if I tried everything to talk this down and I still felt threatened, can't we talk about this, please? I'll live with that better than if I just hit him because he annoyed me, you know. That's what I'm trying to get through to you, you know. And I'm ranting on, I know, but it's important to me that I get my message across, because those of you that know me, you know, I'm not a violent person, far from it. I'm just trying to teach you guys what to do if you're faced with someone who is. That's what I'm trying to do here, you know. And as I said, I've done it all for free. I'm not trying to take anything off you. And I think that's the other reason why not many people teach this, because there probably just isn't any money in it, really, is there? I mean, you know, how many of you would come to a class with me and stand there and do 1,000 repetitions? Because most of you want to learn different techniques, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But there'll only be a select few of you that will see that the gold is in repetition, okay? And that's why probably other people are not teaching this. You know, I think preemption is the key here. I don't want to find out if my block and counter doesn't work, because it could be too late. And that's what I said to you, you know, you non-fighters, you need to think about that. If you think that you can block him and counter and you can live with that better than hitting first, you make that choice. But from my experience, that didn't work for me. And what I've learned, I'm teaching you guys now, and this is from people that have used this, as I said to you before. So it's not a theory that I carry. You have to make that choice. Ultimately, as I said to you, we don't want to be here. You know, I really don't want to be here at all. If I can avoid, escape or talk down, I will do. And if I can run away, you know, don't care what your mates think. If you run away from a situation, as long as you're not leaving anyone there, just run, you know. You might get some flack the next day from your mates, but they weren't there, you know. And you really don't want to change the course of your life over ego, you know. And that's the other thing, you know, have a look at that. Okay, so the preemptive strikes, I do 4 different shots. They're all on the website, and I'm going to show you how to train for it. And obviously what's far more important than power is accuracy on these, okay? So those will show you where to hit. This is for those of you, you know, non-fighters. Again, obviously you boxers and MMA guys will know the jawline, but I'm trying to teach blank canvases here as well, okay? So before you do the strikes, please go back to the fence videos and get used to being in your fence, because all these strikes, these preemptive strikes, are going to be coming from a fence. So whether you've got a submissive fence or an exclamation fence, you need to make that yours and make it personal to you and get used to being here, trust me, Because as I said on those fence videos, if you don't, you'll step back. And if you step back, you've got more chance of seeing that coming. And if he blocks it, then you're in a fight. You need to drop that like I showed you. What are you trying to say then? You need to just drop it from where you're naturally standing. So you have to get used to being in the fence so that you can drop it. You know, as I said to you on the introduction video, if he suddenly goes back into a fighting stance, I can just drop that uppercut straight through, you know, because he's going to go, isn't he? If he goes like that, or he comes back, he's going to hit you, you know. There's nothing, he's going to hit you. Or if he comes close, he's going to hurt you. You have to make your decision. Do not hesitate, honestly, you know. Don't let that little voice in your head say, oh, what if? You have to get this over and done with. You know, that there's no easy way around this. He's going to hurt you. If he steps back, you know, as I said, even worse, if his hand's behind his back or in his pockets, he could be carrying a knife. You know, what's behind your back, mate? If he doesn't show you, take him off the planet. You haven't got a choice here, you know. Again, it's another thing. I see people learning these knife defences. I just don't believe in that. I just wouldn't personally waste my time learning to defend against a knife, because the knife attacks I've heard about, read about, or, you know, they're not like that. You know, you probably won't see that blade until it's pulled back out of you. You know, that's the sick thing here. It's just not worth learning to defend against. I'd sooner just run, you know. That would be my advice against knife attacks. And again, I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to learn how to defend against a knife, knock yourselves out, honestly. It's just, you know, I'm giving you choices. I would sooner learn how to do a 400-metre sprint than learn to defend against a knife. And obviously I know some of you go, well, what if you can't run away? I'll just twat him with anything that was, you know, at hand, or if there was a table, you just have to think outside. It's not about defending against the knife, it's about trying to take this guy out before he, you know, stabs you, you know, because you probably are going to get hurt, you know. That's the thing. So I still think the preemptive strike could help against that, but it's about you being aware again, isn't it? About you being aware and seeing what's going on, you know. It's a real tricky one, self-defense, because every level there's another devil. There's always a what if, and, you know, as I said, you know, you could train all your life, and in a situation, you know, you might be jumped from behind. And even if you had 20 black belts around your waist, you're not going to defend against that. You know, it's a tricky one. And I kind of thought, what if? I went through a lot of, you know, my martial arts training. What if this happens? What if that happens? It gets so deep, you know. And I think what I'm trying to do is just get those of you who are not fighters just to feel a bit safer, that if you know, if someone aggressive confronts you, that you know what to do if you can't run away or talk him down. That's ultimately where I'm going with this, okay? So have a look at the strikes, but I'm going to show you them now, okay? First one I practice is a hook, okay? So again, from my fence, off his centre line, have a look at the fence for this, okay? And then I'm going to ask my brain engaging question, can't we talk about this? And I'm going straight to that jawline, okay? What I suggest you do is aim, if you've got the ear and the chin there, find the halfway point and go slightly back towards the back of the jaw. Because if he does lean back, I'll hit his chin, okay? So it's about rocking that brain so we knock him out, hopefully, okay? I hit with these two knuckles, but I'll go through that in more detail on the tutorials. It's up to you. You could even slap him if you like, okay? Cross, same again, off his centre line. Can't we talk about this? Again with the cross, I'm dropping it from here. It's quite, you have to shorten everything down, and I'm going for his chin this time, okay? Uppercut. My uppercut, I'll talk to you in a tutorial about it. I come through almost a bit like a hook as well, because I don't want to change position and come underneath his chin. I'm actually just going to fire it from wherever my hands are. Can't we talk about this? You know? So from wherever my hand is, that's where I'm going to drop it. And then, the last one, lead leg hook. This is a hard one to master, okay, because there's not a lot of room. You have to really train for this one, but it's a great shot if you can pull it off, because obviously even if you're dealing with someone that's quite experienced, if he's kind of monitoring what you're doing, you know, he's probably going to expect you to come from here rather than here. So this is a good one, you know, say if your hand's at a bar or something, just be able to drop that on. Can't we talk about this? You know, it takes a lot of work, this one, because there's not a lot of power, but I'm aiming again for that same jawline. So all the tutorials are going to show you how to develop that power for these strikes, but I just wanted to do this video so that you understand why I'm encouraging you to learn a preemptive strike. As I said to you on the tutorial introduction, it is a big choice. I fully understand that, and I still have my days where I think, you know, God, what if? But you have to let go of that, because as I said to you, you know, if you read the text on the page, it is actually quite rare, you know. I mean, hopefully you'll never have to do it anyway. If you get good at awareness and avoidance, then you'll never have to do this. But I would encourage you not to hesitate if you do have to do it. But you've got to get it right, guys. This isn't about battering someone, you know, because he's looked at you the wrong way, or, you know, don't let your ego take control, because you could change the course of your life hitting someone, you know. But if you don't hit first, you could also have the course of your life changed by someone else. So it's a real balance. You have to make that choice. But, you know, if you do end up, you know, if it gets, you know, messy, you might end up having to stand up in court and justify what you did. And if you do, you need to make sure that A, you can live with it, and B, that you know, that it was self-defense. That's why I say to you, I would never ever go in and start, you know, kicking someone on the floor, or I would do one shot and run. And I'd say the same, you know, even for females as well, I would say just hit and run, because there has been cases where, you know, men and women have hit and gone in for more, and the attacker's pulled the victim to the ground, and then, you know, they've actually lost and been battered or raped. So I would always say hit and then run. And if you did want to run and tell the police what you've just done, you know, that's up to you, or you just run and to safety. Every situation's different, you know. I'm just trying to make you look at that and think about what you would do if it did ever happen, as I said. And those of you that think this is over the top, you know, I'll ask you now, what are you going to do if this guy is standing here threatening to batter you, rape you, or kill you? Are you going to wait for him to attack you to see if you can defend it? Have a think about that, you know. I'm not trying to justify what I do. I'm just saying this is what I've been taught. And when you think about it like that, it does make your decision a bit easier, okay? But ultimately, we don't want to be here, you know? That's the key with this, is just don't get here in the first place. Thanks for watching. I know I ranted on a bit there, but I really wanted to, you know, show you why I encourage you to do this and my reasons, because obviously, you know, as I said, not a lot of people are teaching this, and there's probably a number of reasons why, which I've discussed there as well, you know. So have a think about it and honestly make your own choice, okay? I hope you enjoy the tutorials. Again, you know, if there's anything, any of you do want to get in touch, if you want to know more, you know, please do, and I'll see if I can help you, okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.